أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الحمد لله رب العالمين. الصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين نبينا وإمامنا محمد صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم صل على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما صليت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى آل محمد كما باركت على إبراهيم وعلى آل إبراهيم في العالمين إنك حميد مجيد. اللهم رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم رب زدني علما نافعا وعملا صالحا. اللهم رب زدني علما نافعا وعملا صالحا. اللهم رب زدني علما نافعا وعملا صالحا. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا يا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. اللهم أعنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك. أما بعد، السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. We start from Surah Al-Arqam, verse 95. Surah Al-Arqam, verse 95. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. إن الله فالق الحب والنوى يخرج الحي من الميت ومخرج الميت من الحي ذلكم الله فأنى تؤفكون. فالق الإصباح وجعل الليل سكنا والشمس والقمر حسبانا ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم. فالق الإصباح وجعل الليل سكنا والشمس والقمر حسبانا ذلك تقدير العزيز العليم. وهو الذي جعل لكم النجوم لتهتدوا بها في ظلمات البر والبحر قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يعلمون. وهو الذي أنشأكم من نفس واحدة فمستقر ومستودع. وهو الذي أنشأكم من نفس واحدة فمستقر ومستودع قد فصلنا الآيات لقوم يفقهون. وهو الذي أنزل من السماء ماء فأخرجنا به نبات كل شيء فأخرجنا منه خضرا نخرج منه حبا متراكبا ومن النخل من طلعها قنوان دانية وجنات من أعناب والزيتون والرمان مشتبها وغير متشابه انظروا إلى ثمره إذا أثمر وينعه انظروا إلى ثمره إذا أثمر وينعه إن في ذلكم لآيات لقوم يؤمنون. وجعلوا لله شركاء الجن وخلقهم وخرقوا له بنين وبنات بغير علم سبحانه وتعالى عما يصفون سبحانه وتعالى عما يصفون بديع السماوات والأرض أنى يكون له ولد ولم تكن له صاحبة وخلق كل شيء وهو بكل شيء عليم ذلكم الله ربكم لا إله إلا هو ذلكم الله ربكم لا إله إلا هو خالق كل شيء فاعبدوه وهو على كل شيء وكيل لا تدركه الأبصار وهو يدرك الأبصار وهو اللطيف الخبير قد جاءكم بصائر من ربكم فمن أبصر فلنفسه ومن عمي فعليها وما أنا عليكم بحفيظ. نكسر أسرع حديث. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبح لله ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم له ملك السماوات والأرض يحيي ويميت وهو على كل شيء قدير هو الأول والآخر والظاهر والباطن وهو بكل شيء عليم هو الذي خلق السماوات والأرض في 6 أيام ثم استوى على العرش يعلم ما يلج في الأرض وما يخرج منها وما ينزل من السماء وما يعرج فيها وهو معكم أينما كنتم والله بما تعملون بصير له ملك السماوات والأرض وإلى الله ترجع الأمور يولج الليل في النهار ويولج النهار في الليل وهو عليم بذات الصدور. Next surah Hashr. Verse 18. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله ولتنظر نفس ما قدمت لغد واتقوا الله إن الله خبير بما تعملون ولا تكونوا كالذين نسوا الله فأنساهم أنفسهم أولئك هم الفاسقون لا يستوي أصحاب النار وأصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون أصحاب الجنة هم الفائزون لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله لو أنزلنا هذا القرآن على جبل لرأيته خاشعا متصدعا من خشية الله وتلك الأمثال نضربها للناس لعلهم يتفكرون هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو عالم الغيب والشهادة هو الرحمن الرحيم هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار الملك القدوس السلام المؤمن المهيمن العزيز الجبار المتكبر سبحان الله عما يشركون هو الله الخالق البارئ المصور له الأسماء الحسنى يسبح له ما في السماوات والأرض وهو العزيز الحكيم سورة إخلاص بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد Next verse آية الكرسي أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا أنفقوا مما رزقناكم من قبل أن يأتي يوم لا بيع فيه ولا خلة ولا شفاعة والكافرون هم الظالمون الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يؤوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. Fundamentally, what distinguishes us as Muslims from all the non-Muslims, and also the ultimate reason that distinguishes us from them, and the ultimate cause that distinguishes us from them, is our belief in regards to Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's our belief regarding Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now we all know this. We all know that fundamentally what makes us a Muslim, fundamentally what distinguishes us, ultimately the causes and the reasons that makes our whole way of life and living uniquely different is because of our belief regarding Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. We all know this. We are all aware of this also. We all have subconscious and conscious acknowledgement of this matter also. We also have knowledge of this matter also. We also have knowledge of this matter also, be it rationally and logically we have this knowledge, be it through common sense and common grounds, be it through scientific evidences, or be it through by believing in the revelation, or by looking at the historical facts and realities. So we affirm this through various and many ways, and we acknowledge it. We also have knowledge of it. However, even though we know all of that, we are aware of all of that, we are acknowledging all of that, we are affirming all of that, we also have certain or knowledge of certitude of the matter. There still remains questions unanswered. There still remains lack of self-confidence in the belief. There still remains lack of articulation of the belief. There still remains being able to or being unable to be proud of the belief. There still remains inconsistencies in our purposes, goals, visions and missions due to lack of the belief. And the worst matter is that we are unable to, or many of us are unable to, make our belief tangible. That's the worst part of it. Make our belief tangible. In other words, we are unable to relate to our everyday matters of life, that belief. We are unable to relate to everyday matters of our life with the belief we have of Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. So, I'm going to give you a question, and throughout this 2 weeks or 3-week course, I want you to get the answers of this question from this course. The question is, what do I know of Allah of Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala that I need to know more? In order to increase my bonding with Him. That's the first question. The second question is, what do I not know of Allah at all? That I need to know in order to make Him tangible in my life and in my everyday living. Okay? You need to have these questions, because if you think you know Allah already, you will not learn what? You will not learn anything. And if you think that you know enough of Allah, then again you will not learn anything. And if you think that you already know the verses of Allah, again you will not learn anything. Because He is one being that you can never end learning of. He is one being that you can never end learning of. That's number one. And number two, He is one being. Number one, you've got number one. He is one being. Number two is He is one being that whatever you know of Him, it makes you move towards Him. It makes you move towards Him. So that means if you don't move towards Him, you do not know of Him. Simple. One more time. If you do not move towards him, you do not know of him. Simple as that. Okay. So let's start with my favorite verse in Surah An-An'am, Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard. Before I start, the class will be long today. Yeah, usually my class is an hour and a half. But today's class will be long, so bear with me because we've got a lot to cover, and I may only have 2 weeks. So this Thursday and next Thursday only, I may only have, because I've got other things to do. Yeah, so I may only have 2 weeks. So bear with me. It will be a long class today and next week as well. But bear with me. If you bear with me, inshallah ta'ala, it'll be intensive. You'll get a lot of knowledge. But when you go back in Ramadan and you recite these verses and you reflect on the points that we made and the mindsets we gave, it will open a complete new door to Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah, a new gate. Yeah, so just bear with me. It will be a lot of deep knowledge I will give you. But you might not understand it now. You might not grasp it now. But write everything. Take everything down. And in Ramadan, when you go back with these notes, inshallah ta'ala, it will open a completely new door to you. Okay, so make sure you get your pen and paper ready and write everything. Whether you understand or not, don't worry about it now. But make sure you take every single thing I say, note it down. Okay, Jalla wa Ala says, Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard. And again, it will not be as detailed as I wanted it to be because of my shortage of time and so many things going on with myself and my projects. So because of that, but what I will do, I will definitely summarize for you the gems of these verses. Yeah, that's definitely what I will do. So it is not the perfect tafsir that I wanted to do, sadly, but it will be the gems that I want to give to you, brothers and sisters. Okay, so Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard. Badi' is that whatever Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala creates, whatever Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala creates, it is always new. It's never something same. It's always new. It's always unique. Nothing preceded it before. Let me give you a principle, yeah? Write this principle down. Every single of his attributes has a different meaning, has a different context and circumstance, and has a different manifestation and application. So there again, every single attribute of Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala has a different, it's different to another attribute. Yeah, it has a different meaning. Even if it's very subtle, it has a different meaning. It has different circumstance and context. It has a different manifestation and application. Number 2 principle. When the attributes merge together, it manifests beauty upon beauty. So you may have 2 attributes manifesting together. You may have 3 attributes manifesting together. You may have 4 attributes manifesting together. The more attributes are manifesting, the more beauty is established. Number 3 principle. All of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's attributes are grand. And the eternal. And no one has a say therein. No one has a say therein in his attribute. No one has a say therein. He manifests them whenever He wills. He manifests them whenever He wills. Okay? So just keep those principles in mind, because each attribute, these principles apply. Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard. So when Sunnah Jalla wa Ala says Badi', He's giving you a new meaning to the creation of the heavens and the earth. It's different from Khaliq as-samawati wal-ard, Fatir as-samawati wal-ard, Khallaq as-samawati wal-ard, Musawwir as-samawati wal-ard. So it's different from every single other attribute which has similar meaning of Badi'. So straight away is giving you another unique, different meaning, a different context, a different circumstance, a different manifestation, a different application. Yeah, straight away is giving you straight a new meaning. What that meaning is, you now have to delve deep into the heavens, deep into the earth, and see where the differences are applying, where the differences are manifesting, where the uniqueness are manifesting. I'll give you one example. You and I are different, right? Your soul and my soul are different. So when Allah says Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard, it's not only the heavens and the earth are different, it's every single creation is also different and unique. Your fingerprints and my fingerprints is because of the name of Allah and the attribute of Allah, Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard. Is that clear? I'm spacing it, so you need to start writing quickly. Yeah? I'm pacing it because there's so much for me to say. Yeah? So when it says Badi'u as-samawati wal-ard, he's not talking about creation. If you talk about creation, me and you are creation. Yeah? If you talk about Fatir means me and you existed. Yeah? He's not talking about that. He's talking about the uniqueness of each and every creation. What does that mean? That means each heaven is different. Each planet is different. Each star is different. Each angel is different. Each human being is different. Each jinn is different. Each leaf is different. Each water droplet is different. Each snowflake is different. Is that clear? Now look at the grandeur of Jalla wa Ala. It's amazing. Look at His beauty. It's amazing. Now, in Badi', what is included? In the attribute Badi', what's included? There are many other attributes are merged in that, directly with the creation of heavens and the earth. They are merged. Yeah? So what are those attributes merged within Badi'? First and foremost, Allah is Alim of everything. In order for Allah to make you unique, He has to know who? Me. In order for Allah to make, for example, in order for Allah to make me unique, He has to know Ubayd. In order for Allah to make Ubayd unique, He has to know Uthman. In order for Allah to make Ubayd and me unique, He has to know Sadrul, and so forth, and Muhammad, and so on. So He has to know every single creation before they exist. He has to know how they will exist, exactly when they will exist, how will they manifest, exactly how they will manifest, how long will they live, how they will fall ill, how they will attain the rizq, how they will pass away. All of that He has to know, in order then to make them unique in the soul, in the mind, in their limbs, in the skin, and so on. Now if you dig deep, you can then make it more, you can then go so deep into it. Yeah? So Alim, he has to be Alim of every single thing before they exist. So when everything is absent, he knows each one of us. Not only he knows us, he knows how we will what? Look. Yeah? From the soul all the way to our production. He knows. The second name that has to be in there, the second attribute, is the attribute of creating the soul. Not the limbs, just the soul. Creating the soul. Then the limbs of those creations. He has to create them. Then the timeline, when exactly does he create them? So that's context. That's circumstance. Yeah? The angels were created before the jinns. But us humans were created after the jinns, but there was a circumstance. And because of that circumstance, not only a context, because of the circumstance we were created. So there was a context, and then there was a circumstance. Okay? So after Khaliq, then you have another attribute. Which is Fatir. Now Fatir means the first being or thing to be created by which there is a cause and effect that takes place. So even though me and Ubayd are unique, we are still what? Human beings. Is that clear? So Fatir applies to the first new essence, and that's Adam. Yeah? The first new jinn. So let me just summarize it for you. First we have, within Badi' you have first and foremost the name and attribute Alim. Second you have Khaliq and Khallaq. Remember, Khaliq and Khallaq are different. Yeah, they are different, but they are within the same category. What's Khallaq? Khallaq is, for example, now. Just now. Is Jalla wala creating now? Is Jalla wala creating now? He's creating now. What is he creating? Only Allah knows what he's creating. He's constantly creating. Yeah? He's constantly creating. He's always Khallaq. Yeah? But Khaliq is more to do with creating beings. As for Khallaq is to do with just creating, constantly creating. Yeah? So, Alim, Khaliq, Khallaq, Fatir, and then you have Badi'. Is that clear? Now read Badi' as-samawati wal-ard. Straight away the whole heavens and the earth become grand. It becomes contextual. It becomes circumstantial. It becomes Jalla wa ala. He becomes so grand in your heart, in your mind, straight away. Obviously I went very brief, but if you dig deep, if you go through all the names and all of those attributes I just mentioned, he Jalla wa ala becomes unimaginably huge and grand and majestic and amazing. It's beyond words that can express. So then he says, that Badi' as-samawati wal ard says, أَنَّا يَكُونُ لَهُ وَلَدٌ. How can he have a son? Do you see now? How can he have a son? And this being, who is unimaginably astonishing, unlike anything, How can he have a son? So he himself is saying, these are my attributes, this is who I am. How can I have a son? Because I'm not in need of a son. If I was in need, yes, I will have a son. But I am not in need. And because of who I am in terms of I create everything, I bring everything into existence in terms of beginning anew and uniqueness, if I was to have a son, I will be like the creation. There's no difference, there's no uniqueness in me. So, me creating you all unique exemplifies how unique I am. Say that again. Me creating you all unique exemplifies how unique I am. So the ultimate uniqueness is I, Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. And thereby if I need a son or I have a son, then the ultimate uniqueness is negated. And then he says, وَلَمْ تَكُنْ لَهُ صَاحِبَةٌ. Now, the logic of the whole creation, the way Jalla wa'ala created, is created beings with pairs. He created beings with pairs. Opposite one another, especially human beings and jinns. He created them as males and females. And the ones who attributed Jalla wa Ala of having a son, it was the human beings and jinns. So he used their logic, rational, to uproot their rational towards Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's saying, وَلَمْ تَكُنْ لَهُ صَاحِبًا. How can you have a son? He doesn't even have a companion. Now, he is not simply saying this as we sort of understand it to negate that Jalla wa Ala has no companion and Jalla wa Ala has no son. It's not because of that. He's talking from the grand scale of things, the majestic scale of Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. He's talking from that angle more than anything. So it's not simply, oh, Jalla wa Ala has no son, Jalla wa Ala has no companion, or he cannot have no son because he has no companion. No, it's beyond that. It's beyond that. Jalla wa Ala is so astonishingly amazing, so beautifully unique, that it is astonishing upon us to make anyone or anything equal to him. Is that clear? Write that down, Ubayd. You're missing the main point. It's not simply to negate he has no companion and he has no son, or because he has no companion that's why he has no son. It's more beyond that. It's more grander than that. It's basically how can we human beings and jinns even go down that line, go down that path of believing he can have a companion and he can have a son, when Jalla wa Ala is so unique, so majestically unique, but there's no one comparable to him. So as soon as you go down that path, you're belittling and you're taken away from his majestic perfection, majestic beauty, majestic uniqueness of who he Jalla wa Ala is. Yeah? That's why he says, وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٌ. He created everything. He created everything. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter how beloved something is to him or how disliked something is to him, at the end of the day, he's the creator. And every single thing, and every one of us are His creation. None of us can exist. Nothing can exist. Except that He Jalla wa Ala, only He Jalla wa Ala brought people and things to existence. There is no single thing except Allah Jalla wa Ala is the creator of that thing. Doesn't matter how beloved they are, doesn't matter how close they are, doesn't matter how evil or low they are, or distant they are, doesn't matter. Allah is the creator. And He created them different, and He created them unique. He gave them a context, He gave them a circumstance, and He manifests all of His attributes accordingly upon them. And He manifests whatever attributes He wants to manifest upon them. No one has a say therein. وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٍ. And He Jalla wa Ala knows every single thing that He creates, every single one that He creates, and He is aware of every details of them for eternity. He is in the knower of impossibilities. I give you one example. Your fingerprint to be different from the first creation of human being and the last creation of human being, He had to know the first creation's fingerprints and He had to know the last creation's fingerprints to create your fingerprint unique. That is Allah. وَخَلَقَ كُلَّ شَيْءٍ وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٍ. What does it say ended with alim? Is because not everything that you can see, you can taste, you can feel, you can imagine, not everything is still created. There's other things that you haven't seen, you haven't tasted, you can't even imagine. They are part of Allah's creation like Jannah. And there are other things that will be created also that you can't imagine, you can't sense, you can't taste, nothing like that, which will come eventually, which are also part of Allah's knowledge. And there's aspects of Allah's knowledge that we will never ever will be able to even imagine and grasp. He is beyond our imagination. That is how grand Allah Jalla wa Ala is. That is the uniqueness of who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. How many options do you have every single day? You may have 4 or 5 options. Get all of the creation's options together. He knows the ends. Even if you don't take those options, He knows the ends of those options. If you were to take those options, what would have happened? He knows every single end of those options. Every single one. Say your wishes. All your wishes, even if they were impossible, He knows where they will end, if He was to facilitate it. Gather all the impossibilities together. He will know not only the impossibilities if they were to exist, how would they exist. He would know if they were to exist, how would they exist, and even if they were to go on the path of impossibility, what would be the end result. He knows that. Yeah? Then Allah said, ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ. That is your Allah. That is your Rabb. He is your Rabb. He is Allah. La ilaha illahu. Now this verse, La ilaha illahu, I'm going to give you something. Make sure you note it down. Yeah? The La ilaha illahu, the way we understand it, isn't really the way Allah is speaking about it. La ilaha illahu, He's saying, there is no being who has these attributes, by which naturally the creation will yearn to bond with. So that again, there is no being out there who has these attributes by which the creation naturally, as soon as they know this, naturally they will yearn to bond with him, or at least they will yearn to know who he is in detail or in more detail. La ilaha, that's what la ilaha illahu means. Not that there is no deity except Allah, the way we translate it, yeah? This is the deep meaning of la ilaha illahu. Because how did he become ilah? He's negating there's no ilah, but how did he become ilah? Because of his who he is as a being. That's how he became ilah. So there can be and there will be no other ilah by default, because who he is by default. You see? خالق كل شيء. He is repeating again, خالق كل شيء. Every ilah you take, everything you take as ilah, i.e. any attribute that you give other things of his to them, you're making them ilah. He's saying, they are my creation. They are my creation. I knew exactly who they are. I knew what they are. I exactly willed when they will exist, how they will exist. I took care of them and I'm still taking care of them. I'm going to give them life and I'm going to give them death. It's me. خالق كل شيء. There is no single thing except I am the creator. I am the creator. خالق كل شيء. And then he says, فاعبدوه وهو على كل شيء وكيل. There is something very beautiful here. You notice that he always says, after he says his names and attributes, he says, for example, huwa. For example, in the first verse he says, وَهُوَ بِكُلِّ شَيْءٍ عَلِيمٍ. The second verse he says, هُوَ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ فَاعْبُدُوهُ. He says who again. And this is وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٍ. This is amazing. It's because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, once he makes himself identified to you by saying Allah or La ilaha illahu, yeah? Once he identifies himself either by a name or either by an attribute like Badi'us Samawati al-Ard, he refers him with a dhamir like huwa, yeah? La ilaha illahu. And the reason behind that is because there is a default bond and acknowledgement and knowledge of who Allah Jalla wa Ala is. Allah did not create His creation without giving us a DNA of who Allah Jalla wa Ala is. He did not let us loose. He created us, and that is a grand of He. He created us by letting us know who He is within our creation. Say that again. He created us and He informed us within our creation who He is generally. It's not like we do not know Him at all, whatsoever, zero. La. There is a percentage of knowledge of Him, Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, within every single creation of He, Jalla wa Ala. There is no creation, there is no insect, there is no fly, except they know generally who the Creator is, who Allah Jalla wa Ala is. And that's why he says huwa, because you already know Him. As soon as He mentions His name, as soon as He mentions His attribute, because this attribute and this name doesn't belong to anyone. There is no creation that name belongs to. There is no attribute in any creation that this attribute belongs to. It belongs to only Him. So as soon as He identifies Himself, Khalas, you're zoomed in towards him. And thereby all he has to do is to say, he. It's him. This is فَعْبُدُوهُ وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٍ. And thereby, I don't like the word worship him. Yeah? I don't like that word at all whatsoever. Because this word does no justification to what Allah Jalla wa Ala wants with the word ibadah. What he says ibadah, what does he want from that? The word ibadah, what does it really mean? What does it really mean from the perspective of Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala? It means that you know who Allah Jalla wa Ala is, and for your self-interest, you yearningly want to know him, engage with him, and bond with him. That's what ibadah is. After knowing who he is, you yearningly want to know him, engage with him, and you want to bond with him. Because ultimately, he was with you before your journey. He is more with you whilst in your journey, and he will be ultimately with you at the end of your journey. He was with you before your journey. He is more with you now whilst you're in your journey. And he will ultimately be with you at the end of the journey. So, out of our own interest, when we know Allah, once we know who Allah Jalla wa Ala is, who he is, in just the whole creation, the whole existence, the whole kingdom, yeah, the whole survival and living, everything, the whole imaginable and unimaginable things. You put all of them together and then you see Allah Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. You ultimately, minimum, the least is you want to know him more. That's the minimum. You want to know him. The next is, if everything is for myself, then out of my own interest, I want to know him, I want to engage with him, and I want to bond with him. Because soon as you begin to bond with him, Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala, you go and you sync with the whole of your existence. You go and you sync with your whole of your existence, and then you flow. Yeah. That is what ibadah is. That is what ibadah is. It is the ultimate interest of the creation. It is the ultimate interest of the creation. Yeah? Don't worry, inshallah. I'll talk about ibadah. Inshallah, it's going to come maybe in 2 years' time. I'm writing at the moment 1,000 questions just on ibadah. Why worship? Yeah, the 1,000 questions, inshallah, 1,000 answers. It's coming, inshallah. At the moment, going through it. Yeah, so we'll teach, inshallah, in 2 years' time. But for now, the understanding you have of worship, question it. Just question it. This translation and stuff. What does it really mean? What does it really mean? Dig deep. What does it really mean, me worshipping Jalla wa Ala? What does it really mean? Yeah. So ultimately, in a nutshell, it's your ultimate interest. It's your ultimate interest, ibadah fulfills. Your ultimate interest, ibadah fulfills. So Jalla wa Ala in summary says, فَعْبُدُوهُ, because you will attain your ultimate interest, knowingly, unknowingly, consciously or subconsciously, you will attain it through by knowing Him. If a person, I give you a logical rational, if a human being or a jinn, right, or an angel, they get to know who Jalla wa Ala is, and they engage with Him, and they bond with Him sincerely and honestly, is that Him, that being, suppose that being we believe in, Allah, yeah, He's the King of Kings, He's the creator of everything, He's the sustainer of everyone, He's looking after everyone, He will give creation after creation after creation to you. Beautiful bliss He will give. Everything that you yearn for, even beyond imagine, He will give. He's that being. Everything you can imagine, He will give and more. Everything you want. You want to fly, you can fly. Yeah, you want Hurun Ain, you can have one. Whatever you want. You want the most handsomest husband in the whole entire world, in your Jannah, you can have. Whatever you yearn for, He can give. That human being who's bonding with that being who just we described, Jalla wa Ala, will he be in loss? Will he be in loss? Will we say to that being who is bonding, that human being who's bonding with that being, engaging with him, getting to know him, that, you know what, his interest will be in loss. He'll be the most deprived being. He'll be the most poor person. He'll be the most lost, confused person. Is that rational or irrational? It's irrational and illogical. Yeah? It's irrational and illogical. Because ultimately, it is that being who brought all of this to existence, and all the pleasures and delights we feel now, it is Him, Jalla wa Ala. So everything we can even imagine is from Him. What about everything that we cannot even imagine? It's going to be from Him also. So ibadah is that. Ibadah is getting our ultimate interests from Him, Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's it. And then He says, وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٌ. Allahu Akbar. So He says, فَعْبُدُوهُ, for your interest, get to know me. For your interest, ask me. For your interest, yearn whatever you want from me, for your interest. And know this, وَهُوَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ وَكِيلٌ. Wakil is an amazing name and attribute to Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's such a loving name and attribute to Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yeah. In many angles, many contexts, many perspectives, many circumstances. Yeah. I'll give you a list quickly. Wakil, you asking for something from someone, but he knows it's going to harm you, he will not execute it. So that again. Wakil, you asking from someone something, Allah knows it's going to be harmful for you, Allah comes in and stops it. That's wakil. You ask Allah something, Allah knows it's going to harm you, He stops it. That's wakil. You ask another person something, Allah knows it's going to harm you, He doesn't stop it, He brings another path for you to fulfill what you want. That's wakil. You ask Allah something, He knows it's going to harm you, He doesn't stop it, He facilitates. He directly gives something to you without the creation. He directly gives something to you which benefits you, which empowers you. That's wakil. You do something, no one appreciates it, He appreciates it, He gives you the cause and effect in this dunya life, and He preserves it for you entirely in the akhirah life. That is wakil. You do a deed, it's completely secretive, no one knows, you belittle it, to Allah is so high and so lofty, so weighty, that He preserves it for you in the akhirah. When everyone is given the reward, He will then call you for your secretive deeds, and then He will reward you after everyone's been rewarded. That's wakil. When you commit a sin, secretly, and you fear it's going to be exposed because someone somewhere saw it, or someone somewhere knew it, or someone you told them, you informed them directly or indirectly, and then you ask Allah, oh Allah, keep it secret please, I don't want to be exposed, and then He completely cuts all of those means away, that is wakil. You commit a sin, people witness it, people see it. You make dua to Jalla wa Ala for Jalla wa Ala to make them ignore it and forget about it, or even forgive you, and then that exactly takes place. That is wakil. You make a mistake, unintentional mistake, major or minor, but it has severe consequences upon the people you made the mistake towards. You make dua to Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala for them to overlook and forgive and forget about it and make amends, make them beloved to you again. Jalla wa Ala does that, that is wakil. You've done a major sin. No one knows about it at all whatsoever except you and Allah. You beg Allah to keep that secret on the Qiyamah day between you and Allah, and He does it. He keeps that promise. That is wakil. You entrust something to someone. They breach it. But you have no witnesses to return that thing, or make them verify or acknowledge that they took that trust of yours. You leave it to Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. He will one way or the other, dunya or the akhirah, will bring back that thing that was entrusted. That's wakil. And the list goes on. And the list goes on. These are real needs of the creation. These are real tangible contexts and circumstances of the creation. When Jalla wa Ala is needed, not the worship. He is needed. That's why He mentions it. After worship, after your yearning worship, you are in need now. You are in need of Allah, the Rabbul Alameen, the King of the Kings, the Creator of everything, the Badi' of everything. You are in need of Him. No one can help you. Jalla wa Ala is saying every context, every circumstance, every situation, every scenarios, every single little thing to the major thing, to the minor to the biggest. When there's no one that can assist, when there's no one that can help, I am here as wakil to fulfill my responsibilities and duties. Because I am Allah of everything. I am the Khaliq of everything. I am the Badi' of everything. Yeah. لا تدركه الأبصار وهو يدرك الأبصار وهو اللطيف الخبير. I'll be very brief. Right? If I go in detail, Esa will be here. Yeah. But this last verse is amazing. How Jalla wa Ala summarizes who He is as a being. So these attributes, my brothers and sisters, isn't an attribute of an abstract thing, an unimaginable thing. These are attributes which are enveloped in essence by a being who is always in existence. By His sheer existence, everything exists by default. Jalla wa ala then summarizes who He is as an essence by saying, لا تدركه الأبصار. No eyes, no sight can grasp Him. Allahu Akbar. Yeah. No creation can imagine Him. That's number one. These are the attributes, these are the essences. And number two, physically, if the whole of His creation were to gather together with all of the sights together, they will not be able to grasp Him, Jalla wa ala. Now, I didn't say eyes, He says sight. Sight is as far as your eyes can see. Now, every creation's seeing is depending on how far Jalla wa ala has given the sight. The falcon's sight can see miles away. Yeah? The angel's sight can see, obviously, light years away. Yeah? They can see from the arsh. They saw Yunus alayhi salam's, and they heard the voice of Yunus alayhi salam when he was in the belly of this huge whale in the middle of the ocean within a storm. They saw the light of Yunus alayhi salam. These are the angels they saw. But Allah says, لا تدرك الأبصار. No sight can grasp, what did He say? Him, Jalla wa ala, subhanahu wa ta'ala. They can't grasp it. So He is unimaginable and He is out of our sights. We can see Him, but we cannot grasp Him. So the whole creation, forever, for eternity, who He is as a being, for eternity, doesn't matter how powerful creation He creates, doesn't matter how powerful that creation is, they will be able to see Him if they are Muslim and if they enter into Jannah, inshallah, they will be able to see Him. But they will never ever, we as a creation will never ever will be able to grasp Him. He is beyond our grasps. This is who our Allah Jalla wa ala is, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And then He says, وَهُوَ يُدْرِكُ الْأَبْصَارِ. Allahu Akbar. He Jalla wa ala, the grandeur of He, the majesty of He Jalla wa ala, the greatness of He, the supreme being who He is Jalla wa ala, He grasps, subhanAllah, everyone's sights. So everyone's sights are within His sight. Allahu Akbar. Not everyone's eyes, my brothers and sisters. Everyone's sights are within His sights. Everyone's sights. This includes my sights, how far I can see. The end of it, Allah is grasping it from the end all the way to my soul. All the way to the day I existed. The day He said, Abdul Mu'min's soul will exist now. Yeah? So He grasped it from the end of the sight, because that's where I end. Me as me, a human being. Where do I end? I end as far as I can see. Physically, when I'm walking, as far as I can see, that's me. That's who I am. Allah is saying, I grasp the end of your sight until the A of your sight. A of who you are. That's everything. My present, my past, and my future. All in the sight of Jalla wa ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. Where He is at the boundary of the sight, that means He is the one He has to create what? The future. Yeah? So all of that is within Allah Jalla wa ala subhanahu wa ta'ala. But then it's a bit of warning, it's showing His power and His authority and execution. But then he ends it with the most beautiful name and attribute of Jalla wa Ala subhanahu wa ta'ala when it comes to his executions. He says, وَهُوَ اللَّطِيفُ الْخَبِيرُ. Yeah? We will talk about this after Asha, inshallah. I could never finish. Subhanallah. I don't think I'm going to do this course. Yeah? I have no idea. I'll try my best, brothers and sisters. Jazakumullah khair. Subhanakallah bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa barakatuh. After Asha, another 20-30 minutes, inshallah. At least let's finish two important verses.